What is poppin', fam? Spanik here, the coach of the New York Rangers, and we are back for another season of ICBA Pokemon Battling. Last season, of course, our season was cut short. We missed the playoffs with a 6-4 record, which was a complete bummer. We won 6 games, and it still wasn't enough to make playoffs. Yeah, it happens though when you're in a stacked ass conference. And then you have teams. Then you have a 5-5 team in the other conference winning a division and making playoffs. I know 7-9 Seahawks. That's kind of how last season went. But anyway, we are back here. We're going to try to put that behind us. We are back here with a new team, some new faces, some old faces, and hopefully this team could be enough to propel us into the playoff discussion, into the playoffs for this next season of ICBA Pokemon Battle. Because we made the playoffs in season, I think it was 2. Yeah, we made the playoffs in season 2 and lost in the wild card game. So hopefully we could have some better luck this time around. We had in the draft we had the 16th overall pick, the final pick of the first round, and the first pick of the second round, as it was a snake draft. So the last pick of the first round gets the second pick that's the first pick of the second round, and so on and so forth. So we had that elusive wheel pick, and with the first pick, no, not the first pick, with the 16th pick of the season 4 ICBA draft, the New York Rangers have selected Giratina Origin Form. Now, I really don't understand how this thing fell to be at 16. I understand kind of because it was a tier 1, it was an ultra tier 1. So maybe a lot of people didn't want that 3 points handicap, but to get a really, really powerful mon like this, it's kind of worth the handicap. Because look at this thing. Base 150 HP, 120 offenses with 100 defenses. That's actually not bad. 150 with 100 defenses. This thing's gonna eat hits. Ghost Dragon is not the best defensive typing because you're weak to ice, you're weak to dark, you're weak to fairy, you're weak to ghost too. You're immune to normal and fighting, which is nice, but knockoff spam kind of hurts you. You can't run berries with this thing. This thing can only run the Greasus Orb item, which works like a Soul Do by raising Dragon and Ghost attacks by 1.2%, or 1.2 times, whatever it is. And this thing has already base 120 offensive, so this thing is going to hit hard. Between getting moves like, I'm pretty sure it gets Draco Meteor, yeah. It does get Draco Meteor. Hex is really nice to spam with Toxic. Gets Calm Mind too. It doesn't get Roost, which is annoying, but I feel like I could work in that. It's a Defogger too. It gets Aqua Tail, Aura Sphere, Energy Ball, Ground Coverage with Earthquake, Dragon Tail. It could be a Phaser. So hopefully I could be able to do some work with this thing. Even Magic Coat could be pretty nice to bounce back some hazards. Psychic. This thing's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good addition to the Rangers, and I hope to use it well. And I'm gonna name it, and this thing is gonna be named Maki after my boy Blue's waifu. So shout outs to him because he's been using this in BBL, and it's in his league, the BBL, and it's been doing work for him and really kind of motivated me to try it out. So shout out to him for that. So I'm naming it after his waifu. Anyway, next pick we decided to go. Anyway, we had a pick right after this, as it was we had the wheel pick. So with that wheel pick, I was thinking, what would fit well with Giratina Origin Form? It's a Ghost Dragon type, so clearly some sort of like pivoting. To resist the starter types of Fire, Water, and Grass, the Element types, and Electric as well. So I know I could go in the route of some kind of bulky offensive mon that's weak to one of those types. So I decided to go with Mega Scizor to pair with Giratina. And what can I say about Mega Scizor? I've been using it pretty well in PCL so far. Even though my record in PCL doesn't show it, I like it. It's one of my favorite megas to use in the format. Very good pivoting with U-turn. Gets knockoff for support. It's another Defogger, so we already have 2 Defoggers off the bat. SD it could be bulky, it could be offensive. Bullet Punch is really nice to pick things off. Even Sweep 2 teams, because it's Technician, it gets a little boost in power. Also with SD, makes it hit extremely hard with that base 150 attack stat, which is really, really, really nice. Even 65 special attack isn't that bad for like a quick hit, like a quick coverage hit and power. Because with Technician, those going to be base 90. So like let's say I'm facing off against like a Gastrodon or something, I could run like hit and power grass and maybe do some big damage to it. So that's just a nice tech I could run if I really wanted to. So that's really it on Mega Scizor. It's just a nice bulky pivot that could even sweep if needed, provide some good coverage and clean up games. And I'm gonna be naming Mega Scizor this season Elisa, after it's a fighter in the game Tekken that kind of has chainsaw hands like a Mega Scizor. So that's why I never could come up with a good name for Mega Scizor, and I finally found one. So just roll with it. So yeah, just gonna roll with that name, Elisa, for Mega Scizor. All right, so next up, I have a couple routes I could go here. I could go full-blown bulky stall. I could go maybe kind of a bulky offensive route here with the Giratina. But I figure I need a mon, I need hazards, and also I kind of could use a fairy to complete a Fairy Steel Dragon Core, which could be really, really, really nice. And this fairy type happened to fall. to fall to me at the tail end of round 1, and not round 1, the tail end of round 3. And I was hoping it would fall to me, and it did. So making another return to the New York Rangers from our PCL team is going to be Clefable. And what else can I say about Clefable? It's a fairy type, completes a nice bulky Fairy Steel Dragon Core. I have a Giratina and Mega Scizor. And really, two actually more useful abilities: a Magic Guard and Unaware. Unaware is nice because it can block setup mons. Because let's face it, mons like Giratina, those are going to be that's going to be like a more of a setup foddery mon, I would think, because it doesn't really hit as hard. Most of the time, you got to run bulk on it. So Unaware kind of stops setup in its tracks. Magic Guard's very, very nice because now you can't get toxic with this thing, which is really, really cool. Even though I already have 2 defoggers off the bat, so hazard removal shouldn't be an issue for me this season. Very, very nice stats here with 95 HP, 95 special attacks, but F90. Even the defense at 73 is not the greatest, but with the HP kind of makes up for it. Even 95 special attack isn't bad, especially since it gets moves like Calm Mind, which could help with setting up. This thing gets set up even on its own. So 3 bulky setup mons off the bat. Very, very good. It even gets rocks. So now I have my first rocker on the team, which is cool. Because you can't really have a good team without a rocker, and this thing is a rocker. So soft boil for some nice soft boil, for some nice recovery. I believe it gets Focus Blast too. Does it get Focus Blast? It does get Focus Blast. Very, very cool. I was debating making this thing a Z-Mon, but I decided against it. You'll see my Z-Mon. I'll announce my Z-Mons as they come. And Clefable's nickname is going to be my name Clef. Like, you know the meme, my name Jeff? Instead of my name Jeff, if it's my name Clef. Shouts to JT's for that nickname. I'm stealing your Clef nickname, bro. And I don't care, I'm stealing it. Okay, so that's Clefable. And now we had another pick right after, and I decided, what does Giratina Origin really, really like to spam? The move Hex. And what boosts the power of the move Hex? Toxic Spikes. And what do I kind of need right now? A bulky water in tier 2. So let's say hello to Toxapex. That does all of that. Yeah, I'm kind of going with a little bit of a semi-stall route here. Kind of because it just really fell into my lap. Like Clefable fell to me at the end of round 3. Toxapex kind of fit the bill of things I kind of wanted on the team. A bulky water that gets Toxic Spikes. I don't have to really worry too much about removal between Giratina and Scizor. I should be okay with that. I do get other removal later on. So, not too worried about that. Toxic Spikes can be really, really nice for the team. Break down a lot of different things. For Scizor to maybe clean up a Bullet Punch, or Giratina spam Hex. Really, really, really good. Really, really, really good utility there from Toxapex. And as you can see, and from what you can see in my, if you've been watching my WPL run, I have Toxapex and Tank Growth in that league, and been doing excellent. Toxapex's been doing excellent. I think it only died like one time this whole season, and we're on week 7. So it's been very, very, very good mon, very good mon for me. Been using it very, very well. Regenerator, such a nice ability. Gets reliable recovery and recover. I know its offensive stats are not the greatest, but I mean, when you get moves like, I mean, it gets Gunk Shot, which still does decent amounts to certain mons because of the base 120 power. And even I could run Merciless even to spam like Toxic Spikes with Venoshock. Because with the ability Merciless, I get, if a mon is poisoned, I'm guaranteed to crit it no matter what. And Venoshock doubles base power if the target is poisoned. So I'm going to be hitting things with a base about, I think it's 130. With a base 130 power Venoshock, I believe 65 times 2 is 130. Hold on, let me do some quick math here. 65 times 2 is, yeah, 130. So I'm going to be hitting things with a poison type Draco on a crit without a Spadef drop if something's poisoned. If I run Merciless. That's actually broken when you think about it. Even though it has like base 50 special attack, that is still very, very scary to have to put in the back of your mind. And what better person to name my Toxapex after than my good pal OB3 from UTL, who's drafted Toxapex many, many, many times in the format, and is a connoisseur of using Toxapex, so I am opting to name my Toxapex after him. So next up we have the... Next up we decided to go... I decided to go with Rotom Heat, because I wanted a fire type. K9 was already off the board, as was... I was looking at Darmanitan, but at the same time I didn't really want it. So I decided to go with Rotom Heat because I really, really wanted to try this mon. It's definitely a mon I really wanted to try. It's really, I've used Rotom Wash a bunch of times in the format, and this thing kind of does the same thing. It could be bulky, it could run Random Scarf at the 86 speed. And now that I think that I'm going with a more bulkier semi-stall route, I kind of wanted to 86 speed is actually a pretty good speed tier to have on the team, and Rotom makes for a really, really, really nice Scarfer that could nuke things with Thunderbolts, nuke things with Overheat, pivot around with Volt Switch, even be bulky. Electric Fire with the ground immunity is really, really nice because I'm only weak to Water and Rock, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it's really weak to Water and Rock, which could be really good. Ground immunity is kind of nice for the mons like Toxapex that could come in on Earthquakes. So, very, very good mon. Very, very good mon. Kind of like Rotom Wash, except it has another weakness. And Overheat, though, is more reliable than Hydro Pump, even though I do get the -2 special attack. But I do get Volt Switch, so I can just Volt Switch out of there. Nuke something with Overheat and just Volt Switch out, which could be very, very, very good. So, yeah, might as well with the next mon, I try to Oh, nickname, shit. I always forget the nickname. Rotom's nickname is going to be Vorarphilia. No explanation there. If I can spell this right. Okay, yeah. No explanation there. It's an oven. You do the rest of it. You Google search it if you dare. For the next mon, we have decided. I wanted to complete my Fire Water Grass Core here. I was looking at Serena, but I'm pretty sure that was off the board at this point. So I decided to bring back an old friend in Shaman, and gives me a base 100 speed tier. Finally, I'm on over base 100 speed. Well, it's at base 100 speed, but the team's looking slow. I wanted Shaman. Kind of works well with the whole bulky offense semi-stall vibe I'm trying to build here, because it has base 100 stats all around, which is it could take hits and deal the damage, which especially moves like Seed Flare, with his base 120 power, high base power move, really nice, very nice move pool. This is going to be a Z-mon as well, so I will be able to utilize the excellent move pool to its fullest potential by being able to Z-move and deal extra damage. Oh, Rotom's also going to be a Z-mon, by the way, and Rotom's going to be the Z-status mon, meaning I could use Z-status moves as well with Rotom, which is very, very nice. Shaman is just going to be Z-offensive. And really, that's all Shaman does. It could Cleric as well with Healing Wish and Aromatherapy, Leech Seed support, Synthesis and Rest even for recovery, because a natural cure I can rest and then switch out, and a very, very good move pool. And completes my Fire, Water, Grass core with Rotom Heat and Toxapex. And Shaman's nickname is going to be Matt Shaman. Shouts to the actor Matt Damon for the nickname, because it sounds like Damon. Okay, so that's our first 6 picks, I think. Yeah, first 6. So let us move on to the remaining picks. And you'll get a preview, as always, of the remaining mons. Next mon, we need a fast boy. So I decided to go with the loud burb himself, Swellow, which will be Swellow's nickname. If I could get my O keys fucked up on this computer, bear with me. And I should name it Burb, B-U-R-B, yeah. My O key is fucked up on this computer, so bear with me. So, yeah, Swellow's going to be the loud burb because it just spams Boom Burst. And what's there to say about Swellow? I had this thing in Ocean League, and it did very, very well for me. Especially with the Guts Flame Orb set. The Guts Flame Orb set I really, really liked because you hit a lot of things hard with Facade, Steel, even get Steel Wing, which is very, very good for breaking. And judging by my first 6 picks, I really need some fast offensive. Really need a fast offensive mon here, and Swellow really benefits him. Swellow is really that fast offensive mon that could. It's a nice mixed attacker too. Base 85 attack is not the greatest, but when you pair it with Guts, I think it goes up to like 4-0 something. It goes like over 400 attack with max adamant. So that's very, very, very good to break things in half. And yeah, as well as I think he's gonna be the loud burb. Even the specs. I can't speak. Specs special set is very, very good. It moves like Boom Burst, Heat Wave, and I think it gets Hurricane too. So very high power, base power moves, gonna make up for the lack of special attack and attack on this thing. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to use Swellow well again in the ICBA. I used it well in Ocean League. It was pretty much the MVP of that team. We made playoffs, but got bounced round 1. But it was pretty much, yeah, it pretty much was the MVP of that team. Very, very good mon. Highly recommend it if you're looking for a good normal type. So next to add to the wave of hazard removal, we decided to go with Cryogonal, an ice type that has base 105 speed. Another mon over. We drafted 2 mons over 100 speed, guys. Very, 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 very productive. And I kind of wanted Rapid Spin just in case I decide to hazard stack with rocks and toxic spikes. Defog isn't going to really help me. Defog is going to help me more. Is going to harm me more than help me. So Cryogonal kind of could shed a load here and be able to Rapid Spin away rocks. 135 Spit F is very, very, very nice with 80 HP. So this thing can even take special hits very, very well. This could be good and gets moves like Freeze Dry, Flash Cannon, etc. Oh, Swellow's going to be a Z-Mon, by the way. Forgot to say that. So yeah, now back to Cryogonal. Pretty much what's there to say about Cryogonal. It's going to Rapid Spin and it's going to spam ice moves. And have decent speeds here at 105. So yeah, that's pretty much it with Cryogonal. And this thing is going to be named Tumbler because all tumblers people are special snowflakes. And this thing looks like a snowflake. Alright, so next up I really wanted another rocker because right now, if you haven't noticed, my only rocker is Clefable. And that is not gonna fly. Because I'm not running Rocks Clefable every week, so we had to grab another rocker here, and we opted to grab Rhydon because it was still around in Tier 5, and Rhydon is definitely a great mon. I haven't used it since UTL Season 2, and I think Season 2. I'm pretty sure I had a UTL season. It was either Season 2 or Season 1 that I had it, and it did a lot of good work for me. Ground Rock is not the best typing, because you're quad weak to a lot of things. But if you look at the other mons, I kind of resist those very, very well. Like Grass, I have Mega Scizor that quad resists. I have Giratina, Rotom, Shaman, Swellow, all good resist to Grass. Water type, Toxapex, Shaman, Giratina. Very, very good resist to water there too. So I'm not worried about his weaknesses. I have ways to deal with his weaknesses. And 130 attack with 120 also its defenses get the boost from a Violite, which is very, very nice. Plus one defense with a 120 defense. Jesus Christ, this thing's eating hits. Like, it eats hits, and it can deal some decent damage, too. Has a very, very, very nice move pool. I believe it gets Elemental Punches, Edge Quake, gets Aqua Tail. Avalanche is very, very nice if you want to take hits and deal damage. Dragon Coverage, ground stabs. Even Facade is nice if you get burned or something. Yeah, it does get Elemental Punches. I see Fire Punch there. I think it's Ice Punch, too. It does get... does it? Ice... It gets Ice Fang. It's Ice Punch, too. Yep. Thunder Punch? Does it get Thunder Punch? It does get Thunder Punch, yeah. So it does get Elemental Punches. Very, very nice move pool. I was thinking about making this thing a Zmon, but I didn't because of... because I'm going to run a Violate most of the time anyway. And Rhydon's nickname is going to be We Are Number One. We Are Number One. Because of Rhydon was actually the first Pokemon. If you don't know the notion, Rhydon was actually the first Pokemon ever programmed. So it is technically the first Pokemon. So that's why the name is going to be We Are Number One. And now, but with the last two Mons, they're kind of just filler picks just to fill some. They're kind of just filler picks to fill a Psychic Dark Fighting core. But, I mean, they both could help out in their own right. So, first up, we have the Dark type in Liepard. And with this thing, I'm kind of just using it more for, like, a speed control or a pivot type thing. Because, yeah, it gets Prankster, which is very, very nice to spam moves like Thunder Wave and such. Fake Outs. Foul Play is one of my favorite moves in the game. Gunk Shot could be very, very nice. Does it get Parting Shot? It doesn't get Parting Shot. Damn it. That would have been nice. Encore is nice to lock things. Fake Out's good for some quick priority. Does it get SD? It doesn't get SD, but I'm actually pretty certain it gets Home Claws. It does get Home Claws, so it could set up if I needed it to. And its speed is pretty good too at base 106. 88 attack and special attack's pretty nice too. Does it get nasty? Does it get Nasty Plot? Ooh, it gets Nasty Plot. Nice. Baton Pass. Doesn't get Baton Pass though, which sucks. Alright, Nasty Plot could be cool because it gets moves like, maybe it gets Dark Pulse is good to spam. Grass Knot's nice. Does it get Energy Ball? No. Yeah, as you can see, I don't know a lot about Liepard. I've never really used this thing. But it's going to be a pivot that could maybe... It's going to be mostly an offensive pivot that could maybe also double as, like, speed control. Maybe set up weather, even. I'll see what I do with this thing. Because Rain can be nice to limit, because Rain Dance can be... I know it gets the weather moves in Rain Dance. Yeah, it gets Rain Dance. And Sunny Day. Yeah. So this thing can be a nice weather setter if I need it to be. Because Mega Scizor doesn't really like fire moves, and that could weaken fire moves to Mega Scizor, making its life easier. So we'll see what I use this thing for. And Liepard's nickname is going to be... Crap, I don't know. It's a cat, so I don't know a nickname for Liepard. I'll get one when I use it. I'll get one when I bring it. You'll just see whatever nickname I use. And for the last mon, we're going with Gallade. Regular old Gallade, just to complete the Psychic Dark Fighting core. And I was really tossed up between Gallade and Beware for this, because I'm kind of Dark weak. I don't have a good Dark Resist on the team, and that's why I kind of wanted Beware as a Dark Resist. Because right now, believe it or not, my only Dark Resist is Clefable, and my only Dark Resists are Clefable and Liepard. So I kind of wanted... I was thinking about I might make a swap for Beware. I'm not sure, though. I'll see how Gallade does, but I wanted Gallade just to get a Psychic type. Even though it really could work as Justified. And I did make this thing a Z-Mon, so Justified with a Z-Crystal means knockoff is going to do significantly less, because you don't get the knockoff damage boost if the Mon's holding a Z-Crystal. So that could be... So that's really... So I'm going to be probably running Z most of the time on this thing. 125 attack is very good. 115 speed def's nice. 65 defense sucks. 80 speed's pretty good given my team. And this thing has a really nice move pool. With moves like it gets Dazzling Gleam, which I actually didn't know until now. Fighting Stabs, I think it's Leaf Blade too. Yeah, it does. So this thing, Elemental Punches. So this thing's really nice to slap a Z move on. Could even run Bulk Up, which is really good. Close Combat's nice. Drain Punch is good for recovery. And Galade's nickname is going to be the Fierce Deity. After the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, the Fierce Deity Link. Because Galade kind of looks like the Fierce Deity. That's why I named my Mega Galades. So I'm going to be using the same nickname for regular Galade because reasons. So yeah, that is your New York Rangers for ICBA Season 4. I hope we do well this season. I hope we do well this season. And it's a new approach. This is a new team with a new play style that I am very, very, very unfamiliar with. So hopefully I'll be able to figure things out relatively quickly and be able to come away with, I hope, a title. And I hope the ICBA Season 4 title. But let's focus on making playoffs first. Let's not put all our eggs in one basket. Let's make playoffs first, and then we'll go from there. So Spanic out, and I will see you guys with Week 1. With our Week 1 battle against Matt O'Shea and the Montreal Milotics. Should be a good game. Rematch from our game last season where we did end up winning. So he's gonna be out for blood this week. So should be a fun game. Spanic out, and I will see you guys then. Peace!